Hi guys, I'm Saintvicious, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of the econ changes that are going to be in set 3. The first big change you'll notice is that on the first carousel, there is no longer any 2 gold units. There's only 1 gold units. So in set 1 and 2, you would always pretty much, grab the 2 gold unit off the carousel and sell it to get the item off of it to also try to hit your interest marker a little bit early. Whereas now, like when you're on the first carousel, you're probably going to keep an eye out for like a Caitlyn or something like that with a BF or a recurve or some unit that you can use early that has like a good item that goes with it and kind of like plan your team comp out of there. So carousel planning on items is a little bit bigger than it was before. And then another thing is you generally will not get that much gold on the first PvE rounds. I think the most gold I've ever had total coming out of the PvE is like 12 or something. Whereas in set 2 right now, the most gold that you can get going into the first PvP round is, I think, somewhere around like 30 if you pretty much sell your entire board. So it's going to be a lot harder to reach the 10 gold interest marker going into the first PvP round. So let's talk about like round 2-1. So on round 2-1, you're going to have to make a decision generally. More often than not, you're not going to be able to hit the 10 gold marker because you usually will not get gold on the first set of PvE rounds. So you have to make a decision on round 2-1 is my board strong enough to where if I level, can I win streak all the way to Krugs? If the answer is no or probably not, or maybe you'll lose one round, then you should almost never level on round 2-1. And if you don't level in round 2-1, you basically should not level until Krugs. And that way you could maintain either a lose streak or a win streak. If you level, you're trying to maintain win streak. If you don't level, you want to lose streak all the way till Krugs. It's very important that you maintain streaks. Win and lose streaks were buffed in set 3. Whereas in set 2, you were not able to reach 3 gold on the round before Krugs if you're lose streaking or win streaking. Whereas now you can actually hit the 3 gold on that round before Krugs. And then on top of that, you also get the 3 gold bonus on the PvE rounds now as well. So if you can maintain a streak all the way through the first set of PvE rounds is really, really nice. And that's like one of the best ways of making econ. Also, you generally should not hold on to 3 gold units. Or even 2 gold units are dangerous to hold on to on the first set of this first set of PvE rounds, just because it's so hard to hit like these interest markers of 10 gold, 20 gold, 30 gold, and it can be really backbreaking. Generally, you want to build your comp around like 1 gold units, and if the game does give you a 3 gold unit in the shop, or like you get one out of a box or something, or even you get a 3 gold unit off a carousel. 90% of the time, you're going to want to sell that. Even if it's something that builds for your team comp, you're like, oh, I'm going Rebels, and I got a Master Yi. Yeah, this is nice. If you already have 3 Rebels, I generally won't hold on to the Master Yi until I can get up to like 50 gold. So getting that econ going is super, super important pre-Krug. So any action you make sure you're thinking about like, can this get me to 50 gold? So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about post-Krugs. So post-Krugs, if you guys remember, the leveling strategy was that you basically, on live, you basically go to 3-2, and then a lot of people will level to level 6, and then some people will roll down to 30 gold. I do that kind of on set 3 based on more so like what kind of team comp I'm playing and like what units I need to like really pull the comp together. So like a lot of builds are like really legendary reliant. If your build is legendary reliant, then you probably should not go too hard in on 3-2. And sometimes I won't even level on 3-2, just so that I can. If my gold is not very good, then I won't even level on 3-2 sometimes. And especially if I'm like lose streaking already, or I'm maintaining a streak through Krugs, I might not even level on 3-2. I might even wait till like after the carousel, just depending on how healthy I am. So a lot of builds on PvE right now are really legendary reliant, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with like set 1 and 2 where people would rush to 8 and try to get the legendary unit or like get the Zed, going to level 8 like after Wolves, those kind of plays. And that's kind of like the play style on PvE right now, depending on like how fast paced the lobby is. Just because units like Aurelion Soul, Misfortune are so game breakingly powerful. They're super strong. And you actually have to be level 8 to hit those units now as well. If you guys remember on set 2 right now, one of the leveling strategies is to level to 7 or pretty much this is what everybody does, is they level to 7 after this third carousel. so that they can have a chance of hitting legendary units. At level 7 on live patch, you have a 2% chance on every roll to possibly see a legendary unit. That was reduced in set 3 to only have a 1% chance of seeing a legendary unit. So what this does is it changes it to where people have to be a little bit smarter about how they play level 7. Generally, people don't roll too hard on level 7 like they do on live, just because if you're rolling on level 7, the only thing you're really trying to do is get like your 4-cost unit, like if it's a primary carry, like you need Jin or Jinx or something like that, or get like a couple 3-cost units leveled up. You will never roll on level 7 for a legendary ever. So just keep that in mind. If your build needs a legendary, do not roll heavily on level 7. Like try to make your comp as strong as possible without like relying on those legendary units. And that means that like if you remember the roll down post wolves, which would be 4-1, depending on how much gold you have and how strong your board is, and I'll show you in this clip. You generally will not do that roll down. So like you can see in this clip, I'm level 7. I'm half health. I'm gonna roll enough to like finish out my board to like look for my synergies. Like right now I'm looking for like the 6 rebel synergy, which is like where I get strong. So that means I just want to find like Jinx or anything to get my 6 synergy online. So in this clip, I actually make a mistake and I roll down too heavily. I roll down actually to like 30 gold. I don't think you should roll down like anywhere below 30 gold on that level 7 marker. Also, you'll get too far behind the tempo of the lobby, and you'll never be able to get to level 8. So just keep that in mind. If you go roll down to 30 and you don't have all your synergies, just don't roll anymore, and then just try to hit level 8 after like this carousel. And you basically just have to like take the losses. Maybe you'll go down to like 20 health or something. Like in this situation, I'm 48 health. Maybe I'd go down to like 20 health, which is really rough, but that's just how the game is sometimes. So just keep that in mind. Set 3 is very level 8 reliant, and play your econ based on that. And then I see a lot of people fast pushing 9 in set 3, but I think that has more to do with people don't have a full grasp of like what the strongest comps are right now. So the game is being played at a slower pace, and units aren't being like scooped up as you know, they're not as like contested right now as they would if it was like in a ranked environment where it's like, let's say on set 2 right now, if you decide to like fast push 9, even if you get there before everybody and you have like 50 gold, all the Zeds will be taken because everybody will have rolled for them already. So level 8 is like the big thing to keep in mind. So just try to play around that. I hope this helps you guys out, and I'll try to make some more videos on Econ if it changes in set 3. And good luck out there.